Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about a topic that's a little taboo in jiu-jitsu that has to do with nothing with technique. It has to do with cleanliness and potentially skin diseases that you get in jiu-jitsu if you're training with somebody that's got something or if the mats aren't cleaned. So we'll touch upon a couple of different things. So let's first touch upon uniform, right? Either you have two types of classes, gi or no gi. It doesn't matter what they are. The gi is important for a reason, and I'll go into that after this, but gi and no gi. So no gi, right? You're wearing a rash guard, you're wearing shorts. Once you get home, hang that shit up. Don't let it manifest in your bag where all of a sudden you're going to get some bacterial infection or fungus or anything like that. Because if you let that sweaty clothing sit in the bag overnight and you don't wash it right after or let it hang dry, you're going to end up with some nasty shit on your skin and you're going to give it to somebody else. And you got some people who just don't give a shit. And you could tell because either a person's wearing the same thing every day or they smell like hell, okay? The gi is a little more easier to notice this, okay? So make sure once you get home, you take your stuff out of the bag and hang it. It doesn't matter if it's knee pads, your drawers, your shorts, your sports bra if you're a girl, you know, your rash guard shirt. Make sure you put that something up where it could actually dry. If you could have it exposed to sunlight, it's even better because that will kill any type of bacteria and fungus, the sun itself. Okay, so now if you have a gi, that's even more important. Okay, plus when you hang it, make sure after it dries a little on the outside, you put it inside out where it dries on the inside also. Make sure it's in a place that's highly ventilated. If you could have sun exposure, it's even better. If you're in an apartment in New York City and it's the summer, hanging it's not going to help by itself. You're going to have to put a fan blowing directly on it where that thing dries. Okay, because some people, they train, they leave their gis drenched in sweat, and it's not even only your sweat, it's other people's sweat. It's sweat that your gi picks up off the mats while training, and then you let it sit in your bag, and that's like a bomb waiting to go off. So make sure when you get your gi, you know, when you get home, take your gi out of the bag. Don't let it sit there and fester overnight. You're gonna have a lot of issues because of that, okay? Another thing about a gi, don't put bleach when you wash it. It destroys the gi and it ends up stinking. Most people who wash their gi in bleach, the gi smells like cat piss. Cat piss. I do not want to train or touch anybody that smells like that, okay? Also, when you have somebody's gi that's not aerated correctly, where it's not hung up and it doesn't dry, and next thing you know, they're just wearing it a few times during the week without washing it, or they might have washed it, but they didn't let it dry completely. It starts to have this ammonia smell that smells like cat piss. It's disgusting. There's always one person at the gym or the academy that smells like that, and that person, they might have washed it, but they didn't let it dry right, and that gi has some stench to it. So to get rid of that smell, that cat piss ammonia smell, don't use bleach. Put OxyClean or Borax in with the wash. Make sure that you're putting something in there to help get rid of that smell. And that one thing that helps a lot is white vinegar. Okay, a lot of people have posted stuff and I've read a lot of stuff. White vinegar and OxyClean or Borax help a lot to get into the material and get that funk out of there. Okay, because that all leads up to not even just, you don't want somebody cross-eyed on you or north and south and their stenches in your face. It's disgusting. Also, when it comes to doing any type of grappling, skin issues are always right around the corner. So if that person's not clean, stay away from them or tell them, listen, you know, man, I want to train with you, but your gi is funky. You got to do something about that. That's why when you're doing jiu-jitsu, you have to have more than one uniform. Most people love it, right? Every week, show your role or control gis, industry gis come out with a new rash guard, and you could get obsessed with it, and you have 52 rash guards and gis. You don't need all that. But if you're training 5 times a week, you should probably have 5 gis. You need that thing to be cleaned. You need it to dry correctly. And if you don't live in a house, you need something where you could get to your laundry once a week. If you live in a house, you might be able to do your laundry every 2 or 3 days, and that's better. But not everybody has that type of luxury. So you want to have almost a uniform, whether it's gi or no gi, for each day of the week. And if you're training multiple times, it's a lot more laundry, but that's how jiu-jitsu is. You don't want to use that same gi 2-3 days in a row, because that's fucking disgusting. Also, you're going to end up getting something, either yourself, you're going to end up almost getting something on your gi that becomes an infectious thing that spreads around the whole school with each person you train. So with it being a contact sport, there's a lot of rubbing and there's abrasions. It just happens. It's part of jiu-jitsu besides getting cauliflower ears. So if you have something, don't fucking train. Stay home. Don't go, oh, yeah, I have a rash guard. It's not a big deal. So what if I have ringworm? So what if I have gladiator herpes? So what if I have impetigo or bacterial infection? So what, I have something covering it up? No. That shit spreads, and you being selfish by not staying home gives it to other people, and other people will have varying outcomes with that same thing that you have. I remember this a long time ago at Henzo's like, oh, go train with this guy. And I'm like, okay, and I noticed a lot of red bumps in like a cluster. And I go, Henzo, what is this? He goes to the guy, what is this? He goes, you shouldn't be here training. The guy's like, well, I'm here on vacation. It's like, man, get off the mat. If you have any type of thing, you should not go train until that thing is healed. Otherwise, you're a selfish fuck and you don't give a shit. And not everybody has health insurance where they could go to the doctor. It might be very expensive. Of course, you could get Lamisil or something like that for a ringworm over the counter, but you're not paying for it. That person is. So if you have any type of skin infection going on, you stay home, you go to the doctor, you make sure you don't go back to the mats until that thing is 100% recovered. Otherwise, you're going to spread it throughout the whole school like wildfire, and that's super selfish. Some people are like, oh, I don't want to miss a week because I want to get promoted. Who gives a shit? Care about your teammates in your school. Don't be so selfish. So this is like one thing, somebody doesn't want to stop training because they got something. Well, you know what? Too fucking bad. Take care of yourself, take care of your health, and be considerate around your teammates. You could get impetigo, it's a bacterial infection. You could get staph infection, which people end up in the hospital. You could lose a limb from that. You could get MRSA. Ringworm is super common. Gladiator herpes is another one. That's why a lot of schools don't have wrestling anymore. So all these things are definitely possible of getting and giving. So make sure whatever you're wearing, it's clean before you go train. When you go home, take your shit out of your bag or your backpack, hang it up. If you're in a place where it's humid, put a fan on it, let it dry. Doesn't mean wear it tomorrow. Let it dry and make sure you do your laundry every week. That's one thing with jiu-jitsu. It gets annoying, but you have a lot of laundry to do all the time. But this is what you need to do for yourself to stay healthy and to keep your teammates healthy. Because once you get something, it starts to spread all over the place. So this is super important to take care of your stuff. Another thing I want to touch upon are the mats. If you're the type of person that's training nonstop at the school, between each class, make sure if somebody's not mopping the mats, take it up and do it yourself. Have pride in your school and try to take care of each other with your health. So keeping the mats clean. You don't want to have 4 classes in a row where there's sweat from class 1 all the way into class 4. And God knows what type of bacteria or infection could be floating around. And it's not about being a germaphobe, it's just the reality of training in type of combat sport where there's a lot of rubbing, contact skin on skin, friction, abrasions, all this stuff could lead to getting anything. Okay, so make sure you keep your stuff clean. Once you get home, hang that stuff, dry it. If you're in a humid environment, if it's humid, put a fan on it. Keep it either outside if you have a house or if you have a terrace. Let the sun hit that thing. That helps kill a lot of the bacteria and funguses that could be accumulating in your gi or anything else. Make sure when you hang it up, it's in a place where the whole thing could dry, where you just don't have the back leaning against a wall or something and the front's getting dry and the rest is manifesting itself. You want to make sure you have enough gear for all the training that you do all week. So if you're training 10 times a week, you should probably have closer to 10 different uniforms to help you train consistently, because most people don't have the luxury of washing their clothes every day. Some people think, oh, I just put it up, I'll hang it up, it's dry, I'll use it tomorrow. It's just being lazy. Don't do that. If you're in a place where you know you're training and they didn't clean the mats, take it up upon yourself to have pride in your dojo and mop the mats, sweep the mat, and then mop it. After class, somebody should be definitely sweeping and mopping the mats so they're ready for the next class. This should be a regular thing where at the end of a training session, those mats are cleaned. Because if they're not, and it's the summer and it's humid, shit's gonna start to spread. It's just the way that it is. I know people don't want to talk about this, but your health is super important. The biggest organ in your body is your skin. Once you start to get these infections, some of them are life-lasting. And if you could try to avoid it, I would do so. MRSA, I know with some people that thing just comes back for no reason, and that's a brutal thing you have to get through in the hospital, because they have to put a hole in you, drain that thing, put gauze inside. I've seen people that had staph infections. Thank God I never had one. People end up in the hospital for that, and if you don't get that taken care of, you could possibly lose a limb. So take care of yourself, take care of your teammates, take care of your dojo, have some pride and honor in it, and just clean what you need to clean. If somebody has some type of mess where they bleed on the mat or whatever, go take care of that right away with whatever disinfectants that you have. Once you're done training, take a shower. Super simple. Even if you don't do it at the academy, once you get home, first thing you should do is take a shower. Before you take that shower, you should hang all your stuff up, but try to get that all done. If you have a long ride home from training, make sure you wring out your stuff and put it in the car in a way where it might get a little bit of airflow to dry a little bit quicker, but make sure you shower right after. So if you're going to be training multiple times in a day, say you're going to train in the afternoon and the evening, take a shower still after you train. You're going to be sweaty later on. This is really important. Hygiene is really important because you want to keep yourself safe and you want to keep your teammates safe. There's people who've gotten pink eye and other weird shit where you just don't want to be those people. Not everybody has health insurance and not everybody else could really afford for these medications. So just take care of yourself. I know some of this stuff is gross, but it's the reality of training. With jiu-jitsu, things happen. And if anything, the most important thing is don't be somebody that contributes to the problem. Be one of the people that contribute to the solution. All right? Keep training, take care of yourself, and most of all, be safe.